That'll go a long way tonight. No Juan Soto. He's on the injury list for the Mets. In case you're wondering, our live-in furniture and mattress defense now for the Pirates. It's Reynolds, Mangum, and Valdez in the outfield. Nick Gonzalez at third. Triolo and Lau in the middle. Horwitz across the diamond at first. Rafael Flores Jr., the rookie catcher. The Sharp City connects for the Bucks tonight. And Neil, what do you have for our keys to the game presented by our Western PA Buick dealers?
Yeah, Joe, a couple keys to the game today. Number one, Carmen back on track, trying to get this team back on track. Let's see if he can provide a little bit of a spark in this. I don't know if you would consider it a spot start, but a start nonetheless from him. And the Magician, we get some more magic. Got a day off yesterday, as you mentioned, that loss to the Brewers, but we know how good he's been. So hopefully he can carry a little bit of the freight tonight.
Against the Mets team, very active at the deadline. Disappointing year for the Mets. Remember, these two teams started the season. That opening series in New York. And Flores, who just came back from the concussion IL not all that long ago. Always worry about that with catchers, especially with recent injuries, and always very mindful the teams prioritize health.
When we talk about this New York Mets team, Joe, they won 3 straight in Cleveland this past week for this series. They don't particularly hit all that well or field all that well when you look at the numbers, but opportunistic on the offensive side of things.
Ewing with Reynolds playing back and left. Can't get there. He's going to end up at second base. And you always wonder with the team, you know, you unload a lot of the veteran guys, maybe the guys a little disgruntled. They're moved on, and then you get a bunch of rookies and guys who have not gotten a lot of opportunities playing. They're going to probably play hard in this series.
And a guy like A.J. Ewing, not many people outside of New York probably know much about him. He's done a nice job hitting in the leadoff spot obviously tonight, and is able to just find some grass. You mentioned Brian Reynolds playing very deep in left field. Just find some grass out there in left field, and now you got a leadoff double to deal with.
They didn't trade everybody away. Francisco Lindor, I mean, they got some big time hitters, especially in the lineup, even with Soto out. Overall numbers don't pop out at you, but almost an RBI a game over his last 17.
And a very streaky player at that as well. We're not used to seeing Lindor at this time of the year with only 10 home runs, and obviously doesn't have a ton of games to this point. But you mentioned no Juan Soto in the lineup. That's certainly helpful if you're the Pirates pitching staff.
Trying to pitch around Lindor, pulling the ball here to advance that runner from second. And like you said, Neil, you know, it's a good opportunity. Try to get that early lead and hold it throughout. But the Mets with an opportunity here in the first. Looks like he's trying to do that right there. Pulling the ball on the ground. Umpiring crew tonight, Todd Tishner is the crew chief working the plate. Tyler Jones, a call-up umpire. Clint Bondrak at second. Adam Hammery at third. The umpires.
Well, this Mets team doesn't run a whole lot, but the two guys that do, Carson Bench and A.J. Ewing, who's standing on second base right now. He's got 14 on the season, and Bench has 17. So those are definitely the two you want to make sure you pay a little bit of attention to.
Young legs, rookies. How about that? 96 upstairs, gets the chase and keeps the runner at second. Nice by Carmen Majinski.
Lindor trying to get on top of this thing and see if he can pull it. And committed just a little too early. Not able to even foul it off.
First strikeout tonight for Carmen. Bo Bichette. Big splash in over the winter, signing him as a free agent.
And kind of an interesting year. We've become accustomed to seeing Bo Bichette just really rack up a lot of hits in his career year to year. He's got 118 and 459 at bats. This is his 460th at bat of the season. A little sluggish.
You saw Andy Green over there, interim manager of the Mets. Carlos Mendoza was let go halfway through the season, so it's a very different looking Mets team, including the man at the helm. Remember him as manager of the Padres last decade. Murzinski ahead of another hitter. And that's the split-fingered pitch, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the splitter right there. You don't see him use it a ton to the right-handers. It's definitely an effective pitch to the left-handed hitters. But he'll use it from time to time to see if he can get a ground ball to the left side or a swing over the top of it in a strikeout situation.
Now he struck out Lindor on a fastball way above the zone. Inputting the pitch he'd like to throw on his hip right there, telling his catcher, and went with the heat again. That time that was the sinker, which doesn't always sink, right? I think that's kind of an interesting word for the two-seam fastball.
It's funny when you think about guys like Greg Maddux throwing it at about 90 miles an hour. You remember how much that ball moves.
Oh yeah.
Now we're seeing it at 96.
Soft ground ball. And Bichette with an infield hit.
Yeah, a couple fortuitous swings to the bat so far for the first and third hitter in this lineup for the Mets. And here you go, another sinker, really good one at that. Boy, he couldn't have thrown this out there any better. Nothing Nick Gonzalez can do but put it in his back pocket.
Ewing can alertly advance with the base abandoned, which is important with one out. A fly ball could give the Mets an early lead. Carson Benj debuted in the major leagues against the Pirates on opening day in New York, starting in right field that day. Well, that's your first game in the big leagues. You're in New York, opening day, the enormity of it all.
Yeah, there's not many bigger stages, is there, Joe?
Yeah. Seems to be handling year one just fine out of Oklahoma State. Falling fast, down for a hit, and Ewing can scramble in to score. The Mets have an early lead.
Nice piece of hitting by Benj right here. Gets himself a backdoor breaking ball. Doesn't try to yank it. It's the last thing you want to do, especially with situations like runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs, or runners on the corner. Do everything you can to lift something, and he does just that and gets rewarded with not only an RBI, but a single to go on top of it.
The Mets hitting in front of the outfielders in this inning, or in front of the infielders in Bichette's case. Valdez playing way off the line. Able to track that down. Bichette can advance to third. Now 2 outs. Now you're mentioning Benj and Ewing, the base stealing threats on this team. Benj is aboard with 2 outs.
You don't see a ton of stolen base attempts against Carmen Mlodzinski. Pretty quick to home plate. I would venture to say if this gets to a 0-2-1-2 count, you're probably going to see him take off.
Sweeper looked like it was going to be in to Marcus Semien. That one started as a strike and ran off. Last year with Texas, traded for Brandon Nimmo.
What a terrific run he had in Toronto a handful of years ago, huh? You're one of the better second basemen at that point in all of baseball.
45 home run season. There goes Benj. Snap throw to third. Back in there. So Benj with a stolen base.
Oh, I feel like if Flores didn't pump fake right here, watch the left side of your screen. You got him kind of committed. He decides to go with the fake throw to second base, and once that happened, that gave Bichette that extra second to crawl back to third base.
And now all the more important to get the hitter here. Base hit could score 2. It's a little cut fastball. Our Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone right there.
Perfect spot right there for Carmen. Maybe you try to throw that sinker right in that same spot right there off that cutter.
A 23 pitch first inning. I'm sure Mlodzinski will be somewhat limited today, coming off out of the bullpen. First start since May. It's the ground ball. Mets strand 2 in scoring position, and now the Pirates coming to bat in the first.
250 reasons to.
There is head groundskeeper Matt Brown talking with Todd Tishner, the crew chief, always keeping the umpires alert of any possible weather changes. For the Pirates today, it's Mangum, and then Brandon Lau struck his 24th home run last night. Brian Reynolds, Ace Merlin Valdez back in the cleanup spot again. Horwitz, Nick Gonzalez, Ronnie Simon, rookie DH, Jared Triolo, and then Rafael Flores Jr. doing the catching tonight. Good series for Lau against the Mets.
And lefty Zach Thornton, there's his numbers. 6 starts to this point, 2.88 ERA. Doesn't throw much harder than that right there. 91, maybe 92, topping out 93. Moves it around, a lot of fastballs, nothing really straight, and sweeper slider.
Did you like facing guys that, maybe were just calling up and there wasn't a big book on them yet, or did you want to have a lot of information?
No, hitters typically want a lot of information. The unpredictability is the one thing, especially when you get into the point in your career where you know what you're looking for, you know how you're being pitched. That's the one thing that can kind of trick you a little bit from time to time is not having a lot of bats. Usually by the time you get to that 4th, 5th, 6th at bat against a guy, you somewhat have the book on him and know how he's going to have, for the most part, attack you.
So unless some of the Pirates in the International League or maybe down the rungs of the ladder seen him. Moved up quickly, started the year in Binghamton. He was a rumble pony to begin the year at Double-A, pitched in Syracuse and now with the Mets.
And clearly has a knack for missing the barrel, finding ways to limit the long balls.
And showing good command right there.
Nice fastball, 94 right in the inner half.
And defensively for the Mets, it's Benj in left, another rookie Ewing in center, Brett Beatty is in right, Bichette and Lindor on the left side, Semien and Young on the right side. Luis Torrens, very fine catcher, throws out 37% of attempt base stealers, so he'll help his pitchers Lindor at short, the mainstay. Lau again now to deep right. Ballpark will hold it though. He homered yesterday to the opposite field. What do you think, Neil? 2 dozen for Brandon Lau, and you had held that mark for a dozen years.
Yeah, I mean, he is what a talent. I mean, to get the power out of that, I don't say body type, but that type of frame, the leverage he can create from his size is so impressive. But my gosh, has he earned it? We still have 2 months of baseball left.
And Thornton in his 7th major league start, a 9-pitch first inning.
I always loved coming to Eaton Park. They served my favorite things just how I like them. But the best part of
on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and one of Carmen's weapons this year has been the splitter. It's his second most utilized pitch in his arsenal, has a whiff rate of 31%, and has opponents batting coming into this game just 175 against it. But as dynamic as that pitch has been, the origin story is even more interesting. In 2023, when Carmen was in Hawaii training in the offseason, he was in contact with Kirby Yates, who is native to that area. The two met up, played a few games of catch, and well, the rest is history. Carmen asked him how he was throwing that splitter. Kirby showed him the grip, and Carmen immediately started working with it from there. Now we see the success of it, and the irony of it all is the two are now teammates, as Kirby, one of the latest additions to the Pirates bullpen. He had talked about how neat it is to see Carmen utilize that pitch, but he doesn't want to take any credit for it, and said he thinks he might have to start asking him for some pitching advice now. Joe. Oh,
that's so fun how players help other players. I mean, they were on different teams at the time, but just wanted to know. And hey, I know you throw a good split. What do you think before we go surfing? Let's talk about split finger fastball.
Well, it's always funny, pitcher to pitcher, they're going to give that information out. Now, if I were hitting against somebody that had my number, I'd be trying to sniff out how they were trying to get me out. They never tell you though.
Yeah.
The pitchers won't tell you.
Pitchers don't face pitchers anymore.
Right.
And Hannah, I would think as a starting pitcher again, as Majinski's moved back into that role too, that's got to help him too. What does he say about becoming a starter again?
Well, he took this opportunity as a way to help the team in any way that he can, as he has been tasked with multiple different roles this season, but he's also taking the ball to right the ship for this team. Going through a tough streak right now. He said pitch by pitch, he wants to help do that, knows this team is going to fight every game, compete as hard as they can. So right now, he just wants to do what he can for his buddy, Mitch Keller. Very close with him. So an unfortunate situation that he's in this role, but looking to make the most of it, Joe.
Yeah, and that's all you can do is try to pick up your teammate. And Keller, as steady as they have come in terms of being reliable, 30 starts plus every year, has that right teres major muscle injury that is going to keep him out for the rest of the season now. So for the first time, really, Keller missing any measurable time in his 8 years as a Pirate. He's been every 5 days, that Mitch will take the ball. So now it's up to Carmen.
People getting opportunities and trying to step up. That's the name of the game, especially this time of year where you're chasing a bunch of teams, especially. Guys are going to have to find ways to get outs and find ways to score runs. And a nice opportunity, as we mentioned in pregame, for the Pirates to take advantage of a team that were sellers at the deadline in the Mets.
Mangum records the second out. Yeah, and then that goes down to, I would think, how Kirby Yates, when he was on another team helping Majinski. Well, now the guys that are on the Pirates will help the other guys that are on the Pirates. Okay, hey, I saw you do this the other day. I like to do it this way because this way we don't run into an out or something like that, and help each other become better players here as you go along.
Yeah, that's very significant and a good point, Joe. I mean, over the course of a season, sometimes you don't even realize, hitter, pitcher, sometimes you don't realize, hey, your stance looks a little bit more open than normal. So your stance looks a little closed. I notice you're stepping in a different spot than you normally would step, and you may not even realize it. And a pitching coach sometimes wouldn't realize it at times. So having that accountability, but also having more voices around you that know you and invest in what you're trying to accomplish, and everybody pulling in the same direction is so important over the course of 162 games.
And you think about that, you know, might be the guy in the on-deck circle that always sees you from that one spot, and he can see something that no one else can because he's always in that spot all the time where no one else stands. And point something out to you, whatever. So that's what it's going to take here down the stretch. Just to get a feeling for everybody pulling together, helping each other, and trying to see if the Pirates can get back to where they've been, and that is playoff position. This last stretch has put them out of that spot. But as we told you when we began the broadcast, 18 of the next 27 now are going to be against teams that have a sub 500 record. So, but you got to win those games, and a good deal of them here going forward. And Carmen Mlodzinski, after a first inning run, gets a 1-2-3 frame. And it's 1-0 New York. And now it's time to take a look at the DirecTV new era and the most games starting cleanup spot by a Pirates rookie over the last 100 years of baseball. Josh Bell did it in his first full season. Gus Bell, the Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner, and Esmeralyn Valdez moving up that list. He's really exploded onto the scene.
He very much has, and we've talked a lot about the approach, and you know, certainly not approaching his at bats as if he's a rookie, and has for the most part been a mainstay in that 4 spot in the lineup for a long period of time now.
Gus Bell, part of that Bell family tree. Not Josh Bell, but Buddy Bell was his son, longtime big league player, very good one, and manager. And then of course David Bell and the rest of the Bell brothers. So now for Valdez, who, we saw him in spring training. I don't know if he really stood out much over some of the other talented prospects that Pirates have. But when he got going, there was no better hitter in baseball for a month than Esmeralyn Valdez.
And at a very good time too, right? You know, he came up, we weren't quite sure how he's going to be used, and all of a sudden gets hot, and you're finding him right in the middle of the order. And going through a little bit of a tough streak right now, and trying to, wow.
There's a lightning strike in the distance. As soon as we talk about Josh Bell, once hit a double in one, and Valdez again reaching via the walk. That's a new major league record of 18 times reaching via walk or strikeout in a row.
Yeah, we're right on the edge of that stuff right there.
Oh dear, I didn't realize how close it was.
Hopefully it stays north.
They've got it all taken care of. And they have the reliable Spencer Horwitz back in the lineup. Xfinity batting stats, reliable Wi-Fi at one price. I remember missing some time with injury too. So when Valdez got hot, you know, end of June and all of July, that was with Horwitz out.
Yeah.
Cruz has been out. And Griffin's been, you know, for the most part out lately. So, you know, really helping the cause. I'm surprised to hear all the thunder so close by. Must be off in the distance. I'm trying to take advantage of the rookie walking the leadoff man here in the second. Oh, that's way north.
Yeah, if you live north of the city, you're probably getting some stuff right now.
And a double play. That's tough. Right at the bag.
I mean, you're pretty much out as soon as you take your secondary lead right there. You could try to get back to the bag, and it might be close, but that ball took Young directly, as you see right here, directly to the bag. Very little that Valdez could do right here.
And they seem to bring the rain. And a big crowd on a Friday night trying to find cover. Wind has picked up considerably. So has the rain. And again, glad I planted a lot of flowers and shrubs back in May. But other than that, it's been a lot of rain this summer. The Pirates have played through it a lot. Now it's really pouring. Must be a passing shower. Probably not fun to hit in the rain, I would think, right? Well, maybe for Gonzalez, but.
Oh.
Ewing having a hard time finding that in the pouring rain. Still 1-0 Mets. All right, looks like it'll be passing. And how about Ewing playing center for New York?
Yeah, the wind blowing. You're dealing with the rain coming in your face, and Ewing does a good job as you see him kind of squinting going after this ball to secure it.
Well, Patrick played indoors. AJ had to play in the rain.
Yeah. Here he is. He's going to get himself his second at bat of the game here against Carmen Mlodzinski.
And maybe new rosin bags out there. Get wet in a hurry. And you look at the behind the home plate there. A lot of folks have moved for cover. Fans.
You know, it's kind of interesting that they've never developed like a box for the rosin bag behind there. It's exactly for this reason. You know what I mean? Take you an extra maybe second and a half to get it out of there.
You can press a pedal and then it would like raise from underneath the mound.
If you want to go that far.
Oh, I do.
Okay. You can just press a button and it'll just pop right up
like
in the air and grab it.
Pneumatic little box. It pops up from behind there. Maybe can serve you a cold beverage between batters.
Gilbert Gomez getting out of the way real quick over there.
Look like Carlos Gomez.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coaches have to stay in the box. That's been one of the mandates this year. So they're typically closer than they would like to stand, and so that happens a little more often.
Yeah, looks like that's going to do it. Here comes the tarp.
And so it's a 2-1 count on A.J. Ewing here in the top of the third inning. That's where we'll break for rain delay. Now, just the umpires are just pulling the tarp because it looks like it's going to rain, and we're going to have more rain coming, and for the immediate time here. We saw a situation where Donnie Kelly was arguing with the umpire, the crew chief in Cincinnati, because they tried to play through the rain for several innings, and then the field got to a point where it needed.
Puddles.
Yeah, there was puddling. There was, and then they were able to kind of get some of that back with the Pirates from 2014. Josh Harrison, two-time All-Star, retiring a Pirate officially here today. So good job by the grounds crew. It is not easy to pull a tarp in a rainstorm. They got it in, they got it out. Field is draining the rain. You can see in left field a little puddling. That'll be gone in just a minute. It drains incredibly fast. And Mlodzinski can resume. And Ewing, base hit. And let's check in with Hannah.
Joe, you guys had just spent some time talking about a Heart and Hustle winner in Josh Harrison. Well, how about Jake Mangum? He was awarded the 2026 Pittsburgh Pirates Team 21st Annual Heart and Hustle Award winner. He was awarded this honor last year with the Rays as well. It's an award that he said is special, means a lot to him. It's something you can control in this sport, how hard you play. He tries to play his hardest, help the team win as many games as possible. And he said that heart comes from his mom and that hustle from his dad. But following in Jay Hayes' footsteps, he said that's someone who's been a super positive person in this Pirates clubhouse this year. It's someone he's actually looked up to a little bit when he got traded over here. He said he's a grindy style player, whatever verbiage you want to use. He played his tail off. He controlled what he could extremely well. So those two certainly embody exactly what that award means. And to do it in Pirates uniforms, pretty special, guys.
And that's great. And this is John, who played for the Bears for 9 years. He was a defensive back. He was a hard-nosed safety, and he was, you know, that fifth defensive back. So he wasn't the big star all-pro guy, and not a big in stature guy. But I remember watching. You know, I grew up as a Lions fan. This guy would plug the gaps all the time and get in there. He stuffed Barry Sanders a couple times, and you know, this is how Jake Mangum plays. And he's got the heart of Mom Stacy, too. So I think it's so cool to watch Jake Mangum as a Pirate. Great trade that the Pirates pulled off getting him from the Rays.
Joe, then you saw exactly what it meant that his dad won the equivalent of the Heart and Hustle Award in his NFL career. That was the Ed Block Courage Award, an annual NFL honor given to one player from every franchise who votes for a teammate showing extraordinary courage, sportsmanship, and inspiration. Jake said his dad won't talk too much about his NFL career, but that is one award he always has displayed in his office. So this award, you know, more about how much Jake Mangum's style of play translate on the field than anything, the kind of character that they have, right? And it's so cool to see him take after his dad in that way.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know what that award was, even though it sounds like I'm related to that person. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff, what you said, Hannah, about Jake, that's the stuff you can control. And Josh Harrison has been around a little bit more this year. We saw him earlier this year. Of course, he'll be out all weekend as well. And Pirates chairman Bob Nutting saying that in the press conference today, I thought that was so telling too. You know, he wants these guys coming back from these successful Pirates teams to be here and let them know what the little things that they did and the big things to win were, and so that it rubs off on these guys. As Lindor walks, it'll put 2 on here after the resumption of play. And tomorrow, Josh Harrison will throw out a first pitch. He'll be part of the pregame festivities. So if you got tickets to the game tomorrow, or you want them, make sure you come on out a little early and watch all that. And Jay Hay will be up here with us tomorrow. He snuck in on us earlier this year. It was great to know that coming back around Pittsburgh, doesn't live far away. Both runners going on the pitch. Don't see first and second, nobody out, guys running very often.
You don't. It was very surprising, as we talked about, A.J. Ewing and Carson Bench, the two guys you really have to pay attention to. A.J. Ewing took off there in that 3-2 count, walk. What do we got?
And Ewing, I don't know if he retouched third or not. If he overstepped third base and didn't retouch, he's out.
Let's take a look right here, bottom part of your screen. Ewing doesn't know it's hit. Does he go past? He does. Oh, look, the umpire was right on it.
New York is challenging that appeal.
And so when you're in the southern or western sides of the bag, so to speak, you're past the bag and you have to retouch it. And this is what they're looking at on the challenge right now.
When it looked like third base umpire Adam Hamari had a really good look at that, he was looking directly down at the bag. So unless he missed something, he was all over it.
Pirates appealing on the field, so Ewing called out. That would create a second out of this inning and erase the lead runner. And if the Mets lose this challenge, they'll be without a challenge until they can use a crew chief review in the 8th inning. Really heads up play by the Pirates to see this.
He touched it with his glove right there. Let's see it going back if we can catch it. Ooh, does his heel hit the bag is the question.
Now when his hand was touching the base, The feet are moving past the base, so he's now gone past the base.
Yeah.
But now, when he began going back to third, the hand seemed to be removed. So there is some question of whether he was retouching with the hand. Probably not. Umpires would know best. They're reviewing it in New York. Not a run-of-the-mill play. This is a little unusual, but we have seen it from time to time.
Well, you rarely see it at third base. You usually see it when guys are taken off and past second base and then have to work their way back. Very, very rare and odd play that you don't see.
And the reason I commented first and second, nobody out, guys running, you don't see that very often. Turn a triple play.
Yeah, right. Well,
hit a line drive.
Selfishly, I wanted to see a line drive right there to at least see a double play, maybe a triple play. That's when you got to do the Houdini act if you're the middle infielder or the third baseman. In that standpoint, really make sure you try to get that guy to slide into the base, grab yourself a little bit extra time.
They're really taking a look in New York right now, the umpires there.
This might be the best view right here we got.
This will clearly tell us, I think. Does that bag go down?
I don't think it did.
Now the call on the field is out. So there's got to be something to overturn it. Is there something clear and convincing to overturn it? And look at Hammery, the third base umpire. He's looking right at that. I mean, the umpires are thinking of all this stuff and watching it as they go.
Great job.
Out of Marquette, Michigan. Adam Hammery. Let's find out.
The field stands. The runner did not retouch and is called out. New York will retain their challenge.
I think that's the right call. You couldn't really tell for sure. And so New York is without a replay challenge. You can start to ask for a crew chief review beginning in the 8th inning. We'll see if it matters. It certainly matters to erase that lead runner.
And you feel like if Bo Bichette didn't swing at this ball, there's a decent chance that you have second and third and nobody out. And now, on that same pitch, you only got a runner on first and 2 outs.
And a strike to Benj.
Oh.
Big jump for Lindor.
He timed him up. Francisco Lindor got a monstrous jump right here.
Well, as you said, they don't really run much on Majinski. Only 3 steals against him the whole season, 2 tonight. They've been running a lot on him.
It's definitely in the scouting report coming into this game or this series, so we have to keep an eye on that as we move forward.
That gets past Brandon Lau, and because of the stolen base, the Mets will add a run. Carson Benj has driven in both runs tonight.
Opportunistic baseball from the New York Mets right here. You mentioned it. Francisco Lindor takes off. Carson Benj able to shoot this one just past the diving effort of Brandon Lau.
Saw it kick up a little water out there too in right field, so still some
good chance
slowing it down a little bit out there.
A good chance Benj is going to be on the move again at some point in this at bat.
Now the catcher tonight is Flores. He did not throw out anybody yet in the major leagues. That might be part of the scouting report as well for the Mets. Davis getting the night off, got Flores in there. No Andy Rodriguez tonight. Pirates carrying 3 catchers. Got to work everybody in. Jared Young flat out his only time. Majinski up to 53 pitches. Coming off an outing where he threw 47 in 3 innings as a reliever. Been consistently working 3 innings or so, once in a while 4 as a relief pitcher.
You want to make sure if you're Carmen Majinski right here, you either go pretty quick when you come set or you hold the ball an extra half second longer. There's a good chance that Benj is going to take off on this pitch. Nope.
He's already stolen a base tonight, so I was with you on that.
He sped up on his delivery a little bit right there.
Getting a huge lead. Huge lead.
Yes.
And running on the pitch. Tim Leeper will hold him up at third. That's a huge appeal of third base to get that second out of the inning. Where would the Pirates be without that right now?
There'll definitely be one more run on the board, obviously.
And one fewer out, so
Yep.
getting one of the outs on the bases here this inning. Marcus Semien. He's been around a long time. A lot of success through the years. Three-time All-Star. Six hits for the Mets. And Ewing with a couple of hits. Again running. Jared Young took off. Retouches second, even though it's a foul ball. Yeah, they learned their lesson.
The Mets really pushing the envelope on the base paths today.
Majinski stranded two runners in the first inning. Trying to do so again here. Keep it a two-run game. And Evan Sisk starting to get up, so it looks like Majinski's start might be nearing an end. It'll take him a while to stretch out and figure that pitch count at 60. Usually teams will incrementally increase that coming off of straight from the bullpen into the rotation. We'll see what the limit might be tonight for him. That's the big field. And still able to get it out, Marcus Semien. That's a back-breaking 2-out, 2-strike, 3-run home run. And the last place Mets lead 5-0.
Yeah, that one hurts, Joe. He caught a little bit of a break with that double play with runners on first and second. And you get a couple big hits and a stolen base. And then Semien just pulls his hands in on this 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And you see the reaction from Carmen Majinski as soon as he hit it. He knew there was a good chance he was going to find the seats.
And Majinski, one of the toughest to homer off of since the All-Star break in 25. The third lowest home run rate of any regular pitcher. But it's Semien hitting his 14th. And so in his first start back in the rotation, Majinski 5 runs. And again, the Pirates have had a lot of trouble with starting pitching. The bullpen has certainly won some of these games, but the starters too have put the Pirates in some holes, and they're down 5-0 here in the third. New York. Ronnie Simon is the Pirates DH tonight. He'll lead things off. It's time for our Penn West University stat of the day. And the Pirates are the leaders in runs per game at home this season. So in each team's home ballpark, who scores the most? It's the Pirates.
Well, that's the good news. You get fouled. The bad news is we're down 5-0.
Well, if we score 5.44 tonight, we'll win.
Yep. It's great math.
Yeah. Try to round up, get 6, and get back to winning.
And it does raise a good question with Carl Mlodzinski coming back out here, and now Zach Thornton coming back out. What does a 40-minute delay do to these starting pitchers? Is it more just a little bit of, kind of wearing down? Are you not quite as focused? Most of the time, these guys, as we see this tough little foul ball off the bat of Ronnie Simon right into Todd Tischner's mask. In a lot of instances, these guys will go down into the batting cages where they have bullpens, and they'll at least continue to try to move and to try to throw some pitches to a catcher, and maybe even a hitter in there, if they know it's not going to be more than, say, a 40 to 60-minute delay. So something tells me that's what both these guys probably did.
Ronnie Simon bidding for his first big league home run. And we lost sight of Benj.
What do we got?
He caught that ball, and I hope he's okay. I don't know where he slid. I lost sight, but told that Benj made that catch.
Let's see. This is, like you said, we couldn't see it from up here in our vantage point. Wow.
What an effort.
Wow.
Maybe jamming a knee at the end there. The rookie out of Oklahoma State on our AHN Supermo. Didn't appear that he trapped the ball either. Can't stick your glove with the ball against that wall. Otherwise it's a trap and it's a ball in play. Simon smartly running to second.
You can't believe it.
Just a case. But it's an out on a great play. There's the first Pirates hit. Jared Triolo. Hard hit. Right over the Mets shortstop.
A couple hard hit balls to start this inning off of Thornton. This one a four seam that just kind of leaks over the middle part of the plate. Trillo pulls his hands in.
And that's a good point you brought up about the pitchers sitting. Maybe causing them to be a little less effective after the delay. Remember, Thornton had to wait longer.
Yep.
Because at least Mlodzinski,
the
the Mets were batting, so it ends up, let's see, almost being an hour, about 55 minutes or so, 50 to 55 minutes for Thornton before he pitched again, maybe a little more than that.
I think if nothing else, it just makes you a little less edgy, right? You're probably just kind of, you don't know how long you're going to wait. You slow down a little bit. You try to keep moving, whether you throw or stay warm somehow.
And there's got to be some adrenaline lost, I would think, too.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean by kind of losing your edge just a tiny bit.
All of a sudden, you're playing cards, indoors.
Eating some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Maybe
Is that your snack of choice during rain delay?
I never like to eat really during rain delays, but if I did, on the rare occasion, it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, yes.
There you go. All right. Hi, I'm Neil for cereal. 1-2 on Rafael Flores Jr. There you go. Got a little coleslaw and fries on your sandwich. There you go. Only here in Pittsburgh. And Flores will strike out looking. Thornton showing some good command tonight with that fastball.
Yeah, he hasn't made many mistakes over the middle part of the plate. And he threw three really good strikes to Flores on the inner half. One a cutter and two four seams. Pirates might have to start looking in there if he keeps hitting that corner.
Mangum with a bunt attempt, but in the air. And the Pirates are gone in the third. Still 5-0 Mets. And this Pirates pitching change presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Yeah, Evan Sis enters top of the fourth here for the Pirates, down 5-0, 34th game for him. 37 1/3 innings, 2.17 ERA. Let's see what kind of length we can get from him. He obviously just came back off the IL. I'm sure they're going to want to try to ease him into action a little bit. Maybe he can get a quick inning and possibly extend it into the 5th.
Trying to hold serve and see if the Bucks bats can get back some of these runs. Boy, it's turned into a pretty night after somewhat apocalyptic looking storm come through. Thunder, lightning, wind.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. Heavy rain, and then it just stopped. And a beautiful night. Good to be back home. Pirates just here for 3 days and then back on the road again.
Yeah, only 9 games this month for the Pirates here in Pittsburgh, so they're going to have to do some damage on the road to creep back into this wild card race.
If you've got kids, want to get them out here before they go back to school. And then tomorrow night, of course, we're going to be honoring Josh Harrison in the 640 game. The first 20,000 will take home this 2010s era inspired t-shirt featuring Jay Hay, and he'll be honored before the game as he officially retired as a Pirate today. Get your tickets for tomorrow night, pirates.com. Sunday afternoon as well. And Jay Hay will be out on Federal Street. Pre-game block party tomorrow. Signing autographs for you. Get to meet him. Make sure you are in your seats early. Pre-game festivities. Luis Torrens, a hot hitter for the Mets. You see those numbers, but 2 homers and 7 RBIs in his last 2 games. There we go. We got the Jay Hay shirt. Make sure you wear it tomorrow. What's the rule about washing a jersey top?
You don't wash it unless you get ketchup or mustard stains on it.
All right.
Especially if you got a win streak going, you know?
Yeah, if you got a win streak, might be a while. Good to have Evan Sisk back. Pirates getting a little healthier soon. Trying to get O'Neal Cruz back sometime soon. Will be the next one probably on the list to return for the Pirates. Six, trying to get the number 9 man. It should go foul. Valdez smartly sliding that short wall over there. We've seen visiting right fielders flip over that wall many times.
Yeah, it comes up when you're quick, probably only 5 feet from the right field line and down the left field line. It's even tighter, I believe.
And it's only hip high, so go hindsight over tea kettle pretty easy that way. Oh, long at bat here for Torrens. Pitch number 9 coming up here. Trying to give him a little bit of everything. Should just say kitchen sink. There's Brandon Lau. First 2 retired by Sisk.
And they've had a hard time retiring this gentleman right here so far. Ewing made a nice play in center field, has a double and a single, and a run scored to his name tonight. Pirates are going to have to do a better job with this top 4 in the lineup. the rest of the game to creep back into this one.
The only thing Ewing hasn't done is hit a baseline jumper.
Dunk.
Dunk. Pirates did not see Ewing. He got called up after the opener when the Pirates began the season at Citi Field.
That one get away from him, didn't it?
No getting out of the way of that one. As the hitter, you just hope your bat doesn't hit it. You'd rather have it hit you and take your base, I think.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit in the bony spots or obviously anywhere in the neck or head. That's first and foremost. Hits the meaty area, you're not so terribly upset with it. He's going to have a nice welt on his back after that one.
As long as the player's healthy, it's okay. Move on. Lindor walked and stole a base last time around. They're running again. Not close. They're testing Flores tonight.
Yeah, first move off the lefty. If you get a good jump, it's tough to throw runners out if you are at least an above average runner.
It kind of was like a pitch out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You run on a breaking pitch or something. Well, that's tough. A little more time there, but Ewing with his 15th. So 3 steals tonight for the Mets, and there have been some other occasions where foul ball or that odd 7-6-4-5 double play on the appeal to third on a runner that didn't retouch.
Yeah, and tons of traffic outside that 1-2-3 second inning. The Mets have really given themselves a lot of opportunities with runners in scoring position so far in this game.
And again, with that runner getting to second, that base hit yields another run. So the stolen bases really helped the Mets tonight. And you think about the Pirates, one of the things that they were doing at their best when you had Griffin in there, when you had Cruz in there, along with Mangum, those guys were doing this, stealing bases and getting in a scoring position for the Pirates. Definitely feel their absence when you see the Mets running like this. Pay attention to Lindor, who stole last inning. Still early in the game with the Mets running like this. That tells you that they're not exactly confident that the Pirates can't put up a big number themselves tonight. Andy Green at the helm. Seen the Pirates put up a lot of 7s and 8s and more this year in games. Bo Bichette, one of the stars of the pennant-winning Blue Jays last year. That thrilling 7-game World Series. And then 3-run homer off Ohtani in Game 7 in the 3rd inning of that game. High theater. And with 2 strikes on the hitter, we'll see if Lindor entertains an idea. 25 pitches for Sisk here in the 4th. They've got him moored down over there for now. Pay some attention to him. You know, with the rule now that you can only throw over twice, there's other ways that you can kind of control the running game without having to do that, I think.
That's true. And honestly, with those max 3 throwovers to bases, I think it's put way more emphasis on guys really locking in how long they're holding the ball. Are they trying to be a little more quick? Because guys will get into rhythms, starters will get into rhythms where you can figure out, oh, he's going with 3 seconds most of the time, or 4 seconds. Unfortunately, getting out of this one, only giving up 1.
So the Mets extend their lead to 6-0. Toyota Rav, 4th inning. And the Mets have a new left fielder. Christian Pache is coming in. Remember, Carson Bench made that terrific play tumbling into the left field corner. And he does not return.
Yeah, we couldn't really tell if he kind of jammed that right knee or if it was more his wrist. Yep. His wrist.
So he'll come out and Pache is in. Ronnie Simon, of course, think about how playing the game hard and can succumb to injury. Simon, his last play last season, colliding into the shin guard of Connor Wong with Boston and ended up dislocating his shoulder, was out for the rest of the season. So when you play the game hard, making plays, he ended up scoring the run, but was out for the season. And so I'm thinking of Ronnie Simon. When you see players give it their all and sometimes they get hurt. Hopefully Benj will be okay. As Thornton showing no real wear down from that rain delay.
Man, only at 39 pitches. I've seen him as high as 89, I believe, on the year. Stretched out pretty good.
Yeah, it can set the tone for a whole series too if you get that game 1 starter going deeply. Resting the bullpen. Long way to go. Reynolds will give it a second look at Thornton, 24 years old, from Lawrence, Kansas. Finished his college playing at Grand Canyon. That's become a big baseball program now. There in Phoenix. Look at that. After the rain, beautiful sunset here in Pittsburgh. Good to be home for the weekend. Glad you're with us here tonight. Seems that could find grass. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds with a base hit. We're telling you about Sunday. Bring the kids out before they go back to school. It's a 1:35 game, and kids 14 and younger take home a Pirates puzzle. That's going to be fun for the whole family. Get your tickets at pirates.com. I'm going to buy a ticket just so I can get one. One of my daughters and I, we love doing puzzles together, especially on those 38-degree sloppy, early December days. You just don't want to do much outside. So get a puzzle going.
Yeah, we do the Legos a lot in my house.
Oh, yeah?
So,
That's a puzzle of sorts.
It is, yeah.
You do build like a castle or something like that? Do you do cities, the Lego, or just vehicles?
Yeah, mainly vehicles. I'm doing my 6-year-old son, and he, we can't do the big projects, but cars and
Maybe a spaceship.
Yeah.
Pretty cool view from the rotunda. The best ballpark in America, PNC Park. And to be here for 3 days, and Pirates back out on the road. Not home a lot in August if you're planning on coming out. Check the schedule. Been noting that it's been an unusual stretch for Valdez, where he has either walked or struck out in his last 18 plate appearances. 18. It's never happened in Major League Baseball as far as they have records back to 1920. A stretch like that.
Well, the league is definitely adjusting to his strengths, and it seems to me they're throwing a lot more off speed to him. They're challenging him in hard, soft down and soft away. He doesn't chase very often, as you mentioned. Walks quite a bit.
Walked his first time up today, for instance.
You see a lot of young hitters go through this, and he has the approach to stave off long stretches of not having success.
And you see the ball just shoot off his bat. That's what teams, I think, have been trying to get him to get himself out rather than challenge him. He's the reigning Rookie of the Month. There was a 5 or 6 week stretch there where he was baseball's OPS leader, RBI leader, not just among rookies, among all players. Really carrying the Pirates offensively in the absence of Cruz and Griffin. And he'll take another walk.
There we go, another good at bat. Pirates will now have their first opportunity with a runner in scoring position this evening.
Now Horowitz had a big hit back on the road trip, that bases clearing double. And an RBI single yesterday. Settling back in the Pirates lineup. Has homered off a lefty before. That one's tailor-made. And the Pirates' opportunity is gone. One pitch later, it's still 6-0 Mets. With a 6-0 lead here in Pittsburgh. Before the game today, a nice moment as the Pirates RBI-10U Mustang team was honored for their World Series run. It took them all the way to Louisiana, where they played in the Mustang International World Series. They went undefeated in both the West region in Ohio and the East Zone Championship in North Carolina, getting to travel the country, and went 7-2 in the tournament. Great to have them in attendance here tonight. Congratulations to the Mustangs.
Good looking young ball players right there. Congratulations to the Mustangs.
Think about that at that age, to be able to go on that magical run like that and travel the country. You go to Ohio, first of all, oh, this is exciting. And then
you North Carolina.
And then, yeah, and then there's another step. Then you win there, and then you go on again.
That's really cool.
Lifetime memories. That's what the game does. And I know that you're always doing stuff, being a Pittsburgh native. And I think you were active this morning too.
Yeah,
weren't you?
yeah. We were.
Tell Neil, please.
Lucky enough, myself and some Pirates representatives, as well as the Pirate Parrot, went out to Beaver County, went to Aliquippa, and partnered up with Shell and gave out some school supplies to some people out there, some kids getting ready for school, and had a huge turnout, about 1,000 people.
Wow.
It was really fun to be a part of it. They did a great job. And Evan Siska's a good job right there. It looks like he's going to try to get, Don Kelly's going to try to get him through these next 2 hitters. Oh, here we go.
Here you are today in Aliquippa. That's great, giving the kids some school supplies. Oh, back to school clothes.
Backpacks.
Our kids are outgrowing these clothes.
Charlie Batch came.
Hey, that's great.
Representing the Steelers, so we had a great time.
Charlie Batch does so much. That special that you did that had Charlie Batch in it as well, I thought on PBS is the one I'm talking about. Is I didn't realize how much Charlie does for the community too. So that's
incredible.
Cool.
He was telling me today his facility down in Steel Valley, they have about 325 kids that they, assist and give access to food and indoor play areas and computers and music and all that stuff. They had them for the majority of the summer, and they were just buttoning that up. So, Charlie does an unbelievable job with the youth in this area. So really good to catch up with him as he's getting his season kind of underway out there in Latrobe.
Yeah, Pirates Charities does a terrific job, of course, as we know, throughout the region, and our other pro sports teams do as well. Sisk settling things down a bit here in the 5th. Got the first 2 men of the 4th inning as well. And that's going to be it for him. Trying to match up with Simeon, who homered off Majinski in the 3rd. And they want a righty to face Marcus Simeon. It's Johan Ramirez. He's coming on to pitch here in the 5th. Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of coverage on SNP. And by Number 1 Cochran Club One Rewards. Earn points, save money, and get discounts on gas. Join for free at clubonerewards.cochran.com. Great picture of them pushing the water in left field. When you take the tarp off, you dump all the water in left field. There are drains underneath the field, and it goes away.
And that was a lot of water, we can tell you that. But they did a great job getting out of it, pushing it out. And Valvoline numbers for Johan, 48th game for him, 61 innings, 2.95 ERA, 70 strikeouts in those 61 innings. Going to look, I'm sure, to get a little bit of length out of him and hope the Pirates can climb back in this one.
And winner of the Best Belt Award among relief pitchers in the National League for the month of July is Johan Ramirez. Look at that. Very colorful. I don't know what it is, but I happened to notice it. I like that baseball has allowed players to have some more personalized accessories out there.
I've seen some colors of cleats. Oh yeah, Jay was one of them. He had some flair. No doubt about that.
He'd pay the fines every now and then to have the personalized cleats and the like.
But I've seen some colors of cleats that I didn't even know really existed this year. It's pretty impressive. But Major League Baseball certainly doing a good job of letting guys wear some colors that may be a little off, like that. Those are the Friday cleats for Johan right there.
And keep Simeon in the ballpark there. A little ground ball out for Johan Ramirez. I have a brand new Bucks BP show presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh. Stephen Brault, Michael McHenry. I'll be joined by one of the newest Pirates. There's Luke Weaver. And I'll be down on the field chatting about him joining the Pirates and his career as well. That'll be interesting. Join us at 5 p.m. for the Bucks BP show tomorrow on Sportsnet Pittsburgh and always streaming on SNP 360. It's going to be extra fun with Luke Weaver, just getting to know him a little bit. Think about him, starting pitcher, trying to live up to the Goldschmidt trade in Arizona. That's really hard to live up to. That, ask any player that's been traded for someone really notable. But over the course of his career, comes back in relief with the Yankees a couple of years ago, goes all the way to the World Series as their closer.
Yeah, pretty impressive career route for him, right? It's pretty rare you see starters turn into really, really good relievers or even closers. He's done a really good job of that. Has really good swing and miss stuff. Hasn't given up a run in a long time. So it's nice to see him in black and gold.
I haven't seen him appear as a Pirate just yet, trying to get him that tight lead late. And coupled with Mason Montgomery and his ascendance. Well, those two, that's a really good left-right duo.
Well, I kind of mentioned that we haven't really gotten to see the full effect of our new look bullpen yet. Love to see about a 7-6 lead here, maybe going into the 7th inning, and watch these guys kind of get into their slots that we think that they're going to be in.
And Simeon has the first out. And now here's a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Get the guaranteed lowest mattress prices for life at Levin.
The Pirates have come back from a 6-run deficit this year to at least overcome the deficit. That was that game against the Diamondbacks. They ended up losing in 12 innings, but every year it seems there's a game like that where it may not seem like much. Maybe even just beating out the back end of a double play keeps it going. Remember, the Mets don't have a challenge. They don't have a challenge.
Off the bat, this looked like a easy 6-4-3 double play, and Triolo gets down the line pretty well. Looks like it's very, very close.
And the Mets lost their challenge earlier when Pirates appealed at third. Runner not retouching. And beginning in the 8th inning, the Mets can ask for a crew chief review. But until then, Pirates benefit from the on-field call. Flores. That's got to feel good. First hit since July 11th for Flores, who has missed some time on the concussion list as well. That'll get him going. Remember, he hit that monstrous home run back in June.
Another opportunity, 2 innings in a row with the runner in scoring position for the Pirates. Let's see if they can crack through right here on Zach Thornton.
Yeah, Thornton, just his 7th big league start. Pitched in AA and AAA this past year before getting called up. The Pirate ship, always a favorite. Glad I've never had to get one of my kids out of there. I don't think I'd ever come back.
Yeah, you know, if you're an adult, that may not be the best place for you to find your way to the top of that pirate ship.
Dad, I'm stuck. Oh, well, you're stuck. We'll call the fire department. Now 2 on for the Bucks. 3rd time through the order, so activity beginning to Dion Nunez. Mangum has struck out looking and popped up on a bunt attempt. Pitch number 60 for Thornton. Been very efficient tonight. Triolo, the lead runner. On the line.
They said trouble written all over it if it was able to stay fair and just here's foul that last 20 feet or so.
Yeah, the runners get a head start with 2 outs. Let's take off. Very wild pitch, but Triolo can advance.
A nice job by Torrens by knocking this down. Almost hits him in the throat. And then if he's able to get off a good throw, we might have had a play at third base. And this one careened off of Jake Mangum.
Don't have time to seam up the ball, do you? Just chunk it over there.
Kind of threw a changeup grip down to third base.
Yeah. Now, luckily for the Mets, the trailing runner did not advance. Otherwise, a base hit here could score 2 with the Pirates down 6. Need everything you can get. Those little things can pay off. It's fallen fast. Cut off by Ewing. And the Pirates turned aside in the 5th. SNP is presented by AHN, official medical provider of your Pittsburgh Pirates. And by Giant Eagle, your home team for groceries. Great crowd on a Friday night, standing a brief but powerful rainstorm. We had a 36-minute delay in the top of the 3rd inning. That's all behind us.
Yohan Ramirez got the last out in the top of the 5th. I look to hopefully at least get through this top of the 6th as well.
There's Brett Beatty. What a stretch Yohan Ramirez has been on. For the last 2 months in baseball, he's given up 1 earned run. I was mentioning Montgomery's prowess earlier, joining Weaver. Yohan Ramirez has played a terrific role, usually coming in as starters. Nowadays, you don't see him even give 6 innings all that often. So, you know, that 6th inning or so, maybe the 7th, try to get out of a jam. He's done a very good job as the Pirates' middle innings fireman. And you know, if you got a uniform on, they always say you always get an opportunity. He was with the Pirates years ago and, you know, bounced around quite a bit. He was a Met for 5 games, was Yohan Ramirez. He was a Red Sox for 1 game, an Oriole for 5 games. He was with the White Sox for 5 games. You get the picture.
Seattle, I think he is.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, he was. I mean, that's called bouncing around. I mean, you're not even. You're with the team for 6 weeks, maybe, up and down from the minor leagues. That's tough, and he's reclaimed his career here with the Pirates this 2nd time.
And that is somewhat the life of a reliever, right? Unless you're get into the big leagues and you're super high leverage. Sometimes it leads you to being with 6 or 7 teams over the course of a career.
Gonna try for 2 here. They got it. Pirates turn to double play. And 2 outs. Hey, you can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com, or you can scan the QR code, log in with your provider, get direct access to live games, plus all the Pittsburgh sports content you love. Showing a lot of love for Jay Hay here this weekend. Have all the pregame ceremonies for you right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh tomorrow.
It'll be fun to talk to him up in the booth, too.
That's going to be great.
Put me on TV, I'm used to it.
Yeah, that's a good day to wear it. We'll put you on TV.
And we'll give you, if you come tomorrow, you'll probably get a Jay Hay shirt too, right?
That's right, yeah.
Giveaway.
2010s inspired. I always wanted to know what to call that decade.
The 10s.
I guess the 10s, yeah. So then what's the decade before that call then?
The O's.
When you debuted in the O's. Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
Barely.
You played in 3 decades, didn't you?
I did.
I just realized that.
That's kind of fun.
Debuted in 09. A 3-1 on Torrens, facing a third different pitcher in his third plate appearance. A 2-out walk.
You're on TV.
Hey, Drew Brown, getting the day off, getting to enjoy the game here today, hanging out with some of his buddies.
Wheels, that's my cousin. Let's go back.
Drew, you're missing something in your hand, buddy. Come on. One of the great video operators. I'm probably not saying it correctly, but when you see the editor is probably the correct term. Thank you. But when you see the replays, dazzling Drew Brown when he's working, that's what he's doing right there. And getting the night off tonight, apparently with his cousin. Torrens, who never runs, is running on the pitch, and that'll be a stolen base. I don't remember the last time I saw him running. That's how it's been for the Mets tonight. He stole a base last year. As the only one of his 10-year big league career. So that's his second career stolen base in 10 years. The Mets have been very aggressive tonight.
And again, the Mets are going to have another opportunity with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. AJ Ewing, I'm sorry, 4th at bat for him. Haven't been able to retire him yet. Got hit by a pitch his last at bat and stole a base.
And the Mets have 4 steals and 4 tries tonight. Two outs and runners in scoring position. 2 out of 21 for the rookie. And Johan Ramirez has been very good with runners in scoring position. The lowest batting average against in baseball, 144. When opponents hit off Johan with runners in scoring position. Rafael Flores Jr. will challenge this. ABS presented by T-Mobile.
Pitch is a ball. Pittsburgh has 1 remaining.
So 1 remaining challenge for the Pirates. Trying to get the strikeout to end the inning. I've seen that happen a few times now where, in fact, the game ended in Cincinnati the other night when Henry Davis had a challenge successful and it ended the ball game. Oh, pardon me, that was in Milwaukee, excuse me, in game 1 of that series. There's Henry. Won that challenge, and then the Pirates won the game. Struck out Churio. And that one right in there. Ewing down for the first time tonight. TV set. That's just the shimmering Allegheny River. 6-0 Mets. And let's recap what's happened in the game so far. Our dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealers. Well, both starters going 63 pitches tonight. Thornton will be done after 5. Carson Bench, part of the offensive support for the Mets. He comes out of the game with injury, though, today. Ewing with a couple of hits. And Marcus Semien with that 3-run homer.
That's going to bring in Dedniel Nunez. 14th game for him. 13 innings. 4.15 ERA. And Brandon Lau's going to lead this inning off. See if the Pirates can get something going. Got the left-hander out of there. Got some work to do to creep back into this game. They're the part of the lineup that you'd like to have.
Yeah, they take the lefty out right before Lau bats. So often late in games he sees left-handed pitching. Probably a treat for him to see the righty come in. But Nunez gets the first out.
Nunez mainly a four-seam slider guy, particularly the left-handed hitters.
Now turn around Reynolds. Had one of the 4 hits off Thornton. 5 scoreless. Ball struck well. Ewing shaded that way, but there's no notch in New York. And touched by the fan, it'll be ruled over the wall, so an automatic double for Reynolds.
A good approach, good swing at the bat. Swing at the bat by Brian Reynolds right there to get this one, that left center field gap, the north side notch. As you see, where center fielder Ewing's playing, looked for a second like he might have a beat on this ball. He runs really well.
So the first extra base hit for the Pirates tonight. 2-hit night for Reynolds. Valdez putting a ball in play. He cannot advance Reynolds. That'll be up to Horwitz. He's lined into a double play and grounded into a double play. That won't happen this time. Had an RBI yesterday. Trying to knock in Reynolds from second after his double. It's high out to right field. And the Pirates leave Reynolds on in the 6th till 6-0 New York. Here from PNC Park. And it's time for our Penn West University Educating You. Johan Ramirez. And the lowest ERA in baseball. Anyone that's faced 100 batters or more since June 6th. So the last 2 months of baseball. Coming into tonight, 0.34 is that earned run average. And that doesn't include his inning and a third scoreless tonight. So think about his really good relief pitching. No one better in that span, and that's 2 months. That's not, you know, a hot week or two. And how does a relief pitcher not have that one, you know, 4-run blow up inning seem inevitable, you know?
And you can always tell. I always feel like when Johan's landing that slider after, you know, his first or second slider of an outing, if he's kind of got it locked in. I mean, you get swings like this, like, holy smokes. 2-0 slider, you get a swing like that, the ball located like that, that tells you he's got some deception, number one. Wow.
It hit him, and it's not a hit by pitch only because he swung. This is a perennial all-star
Right.
in Francisco Lindor. They call him Mr. Smile. Not when you get hit with the pitch and swing at it. He still smiles. Okay, yeah, you just check it on him. That's how much that slider moves from Yohan Ramirez. And that's on a 2-0 pitch. You know, he thinks that's a good pitch to hit.
He was obviously selling out to the fastball, right? And as soon as he started his swing, probably thought, oh no, this thing is not a fastball.
Well, the Pirates have done such a great job of getting Yohan Ramirez in and around the zone enough. Not even just to become a usable big league pitcher, but in the last 2 months, by ERA, the best. That could have been will return to a strike. Very close. That's a spot that's hard to discern for umpires and catchers. Give it to a kid. That's so nice. Making a lifetime memory at the ball game. Grown up gets the thrill of catching it in a story, and the kid gets a souvenir for life. That's great. Back to strike him out. I think it's so deceptive too. You see where that pitch ends up and you think, oh, he threw it right down the middle. Watch the tail. it didn't start that way.
I'm sure Lindor knew he was probably high probability of getting a slider in that spot right there after the swing and miss on the 2-0 slider. But I'm sure to him that pitch looked like it started about the middle of the right-hander's batter's box.
And that strikeout presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Lindor hit with a pitch, swinging through it. It's just not fun to face Yohan. And I'm shading Bichette that way. Gets the second out. And now here's a message from attorney David Schrager.
I'm attorney David Schrager. Call or text my cell to speak to me directly for a free consultation. Don't be scared. Be prepared.
Now it's Christian Pache. Came in the game for Carson Benj, who made a terrific catch in the left field corner, and then at the end of that inning did not come back.
Yeah, sharp stuff from Ramirez so far in this game. The Pirates are going to find a way to climb back in this game. They only got 9 outs left. You'll have to be able to be tipping your cap to Yohan Ramirez for keeping this thing where it's at.
Doesn't get the chase from Pache. Trying to go 2 1/3 scoreless. Majinski started with the first 3. Sisk an inning and 2/3. And he strikes out Pache. Yohan Ramirez been on a roll. And the Mets have a 6-0 lead on the UPMC scoreboard. And Pirates baseball is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. Having a conversation with Yohan Ramirez. Hey, are you good for one more? Maybe that's a crux of the conversation. 33 pitches. 2 1/3. If you ask Johan, do you want to pitch? The answer is always yes. And Nick Gonzalez with another multi-hit game. 2 hits tonight. Leadoff double.
It's 2 straight innings for the Pirates with a double. Ryan Reynolds last inning. Now Nick Gonzalez goes and gets his fastball in the outer half and pulls it down the left field line. See if they can cash in.
Ronnie Simon. Now Simon wants to challenge this.
Challenging the pitch.
I think he's going to be right.
Take a look at ABS, powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is a ball. Pittsburgh has 1 remaining.
The Pirates win that one. And you say, well, you know, is there benefit from being up 1-0 instead of 0-1? Yeah, statistically, hitters hit 215 after being down a strike, or 254 after being up ball 1. You got a 40-point improvement. Even bigger swing on a 1-1 pitch. So you take that ball right there and go to 2-1.
Yep.
You got about a 70-point swing there. Mets getting activity. Jeffrey Yan, one of the beneficiaries of the Mets trading away so many of their pitchers. Getting a first look. Base hit for Ronnie Simon. And Gonzalez can advance all the way to third.
A big clap out of the box by Ronnie Simon, getting his first hit. Take a look at this. We're going to need a lot more of these to climb back in this game. Finally, a little bit of action here. First and third with nobody out for the Pirates.
Simon was leading the International League with a .330 batting average. That's why the Pirates are selecting his contract the other day. Andy Green is out, the interim manager of the Mets. Nunez giving up hits to 3 of the 6 batters he faces. New pitcher coming on for New York.
Pirates uniform this season. The biggest thing for him this year, it's been confidence. He said he has to trust his skills and performance, not try to do too much. It's been a long process for him to get back to this point, but he didn't just work hard to get back from injury this offseason. He also worked hard on his English to be fluent in interviews. He was so excited to surprise me in a pregame interview the other day, doing the entire thing in English, saying his wife's been a great help, Duolingo, and guys at Pirate City helping him as well. So certainly impressed with Ronnie Simon, what he's worked on to bring his game back after injury, but also, guys, go and have a conversation with him. It is so impressive how much he has changed in a short period of time.
That's such an upbeat personality, too. It's easily liked in the clubhouse already. Jeffrey Yan.
You saw his numbers in the minor leagues right there. Second big league game for him. Hard throwing lefty. Averaging 99 on the fastball.
And 50 feet on the pitch.
50 feet on the slider.
Maybe a little nerves. He was signed 13 years ago by the Angels and was out of baseball for a long time. And Triolo is going to drive in the Pirates' first run of the night. Jared Triolo with 2 hits tonight and the Pirates' first RBI.
Here you go, 3 straight hits for the Pirates to open this bottom half of the 7th inning. It's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and Triolo dumps this into left center field. Station to station if you're the Pirates right here until you creep back in this game.
Simon up to second. Mets pulled their starter, who was very effective after 63 pitches in 5 innings. And 97 from Jan. Flores with a base hit his last time. '99 from the left side. Where do you find a guy like this? It's so interesting too, because he was out of baseball for a number of years. Worked as a roofer, was playing in a men's league in Arizona. Was rediscovered after playing briefly in the low minors with the Angels. Being signed out of the Dominican Republic. And the Marlins saw him, picked him up. Man, he stayed in the minors. He wasn't really going to break through. Walks, you know, great arm, but a lot of walks, that kind of thing. Went to Japan. Went to New Mexico, where he played for the Rockies AAA team in Albuquerque last year.
What a remarkable story.
And being able to debut in the major leagues by the virtue of the Mets trading away all their pitchers. Finally, Jeffrey Jan gets a chance to pitch in the big leagues.
And he's also very unique if you haven't seen this before.
Act like you've been there? No. He's waited a decade and a half to be here. He's going to act like he's brand new to the big leagues. He's that excited for it. Why not? Think about all those years. Never knowing if you'd get an opportunity.
Well, this is a big at bat right here. Hart's able to push one through. 3-2 count, nobody out. You certainly don't want to walk the bases loaded with nobody out. You got to think you're getting high probability of getting a fastball right here if you're Flores. Don't try to do too much. Use a big part of the field. Wow.
Very high walks in the minor leagues for Jan. And so, yeah, that advice, good thought right there. The Mets traded away basically every reliever except for Devin Williams that has been has a track record of being a good major league reliever. Kodai Senga's down there, but he has had a tough time as a starter and a reliever this year. And the rest are prospects, guys who are looking for their first or second or third chance. This game is not over.
There's no doubt about that. I'm shocked he threw a breaking ball right there in a 3-2 count with runners on first and second and nobody out. But he did, and fortunately for the Pirates, Flores didn't go fishing for that one. Now you got the top of the order. Jake Mangum up now for the 4th time.
The bases are full of bucks. You got Simon at third, Triolo at second, Flores working the walk. He's at first. Tying run on deck. Pirates were down 6-0 entering the 7th inning. And you talk about how rough the last couple of weeks have been for the Bucks. You come back from down 6 in the 7th. That could power a ball club for weeks. Jan has to face one more. Daniel Duarte now getting up. And Andy Green has a lot of new faces in that bullpen. Mangum out to right, deep enough to score Simon. Triolo can tag and head to third as well. And the Pirates have 2 across here in the 7th.
Quality of bat for Jake Mangum right there. Gets something up in the zone. Swung through a fastball at the top of the zone. Gets himself another one, but doesn't swing underneath it. Just tries to barrel it up and does a good job not only scoring a run, but getting Triolo to third base as well. Now 2, 3, 4 in the order for the Pirates.
Now Jan has satisfied the 3-batter minimum, but with the lefty batting Lau up, the Mets elect to keep Jan in there. Lau plenty capable against lefties. Pirates' best home run hitter is up.
He's going to get a disengagement right there, I believe, too, Joe.
In this case, throws over. Keep that in mind. If Lau leaves the yard, it's a 1-run game. Homered yesterday in Milwaukee. 24 home runs. Even a deep enough fly ball here. Jan is challenging this.
The catcher's challenging the pitch.
It'll give it to Terens, but Jan motioned toward Terens too.
Saw that.
Let's find out. ABS powered by
New York has
T-Mobile.
2 remaining.
The Mets have been right every time. That one in the air, not deep. And Bichette, the third baseman, able to catch that, so not deep enough to score Triolo. Now you need a 2-out hit.
Just off the end of the bat. Did get the sinker. Jan put it in a good spot.
And so the Mets will leave him in with a chance to get out of it. Reynolds doubled last inning. He's also singled tonight. Look on our AH and Super Mole.
Luis Terens has his work cut out for him every time he calls a slider for Jan. He's burying him pretty good back there.
Bichette playing back so Triolo can get a good lead from third in case that happens. He's out. Jan covering the plate and Triolo out trying to advance.
Let's take a look at the replay. It looked pretty close. Does he sneak his hand in there? Doesn't look like it. Unfortunate way for this inning to end.
The Pirates will challenge this.
Oh, we will challenge.
Pittsburgh's challenging the out call at home plate as well as the blocking of home plate.
Now the rule of blocking the plate doesn't always apply to, or only apply to catchers. But if you're in the act of fielding the ball or receiving the ball on a throw, as Jan was, it won't be blocking the plate. But does he avoid the tag? Something has to be clear and convincing. You know, you talk about, he's out right there, I think. You talk about getting those leads off third too.
And you got to credit Luis Terens. I mean, as I mentioned right before that pitch, the sliders that Jan has thrown basically all bounced in the dirt. Hard too, 84, 85, 86 miles an hour.
There is no violation and the runner is out. The call is confirmed. Pittsburgh loses their challenge.
So the Pirates look like it could be a big inning. They do get 2, and it's 6-2 New York. The pitcher making the tag on Triolo to end the 7th inning.
Now you see Triolo get that secondary lead. He's off and running. You know, as a base runner, especially with a guy like Jan on the mound, he only throws fastball sliders, so you really have to be aware with a good secondary lead of that slider in the dirt Terens did a really good job of getting to this ball and getting rid of it quick and putting it right on the money. Very unfortuitous way for that inning to end for the Pirates.
They're thinking right there, that's the third run, and
Big
what
one.
could what could be in store for that inning. But those little things. And I thought Triolo took a good lead the pitch before too. I liked it. That's why I pointed it out. And he's usually a really good fundamental player. So credit the Mets making a nice play there. And Yohan Ramirez, after the Pirates were at the bat for a while in that 7th inning, returns for part of a 4th inning.
2 1/3 so far, only giving up 1 hit. Go along with 3 strikeouts so far.
Could end up going longer than the starting pitcher today if he completes this inning.
It's safe to say we won't see Yohan tomorrow.
Yohan. Acrobatic. Good play there by Triolo. So 1 out, and let's take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. And so for the first 2 1/3 today, this is Yohan Ramirez on that slider or sweeper, however you want to call it. Big breaking pitch from him.
Yeah, I mentioned that, Joe, when he's going well, it's when he's landing this sweeper slider. He's got 2 strikeouts on it, but they've all been pretty good spots, minus a couple of those in that left-hander batter's box, which are probably 2 strike pitches to the righties.
Using it about 60% of the time tonight, pretty much in line with his season usage. And then he's got 97 when he wants it, and that has movement. I didn't realize that until one day in Dunedin years ago when he was, the first time he was with the Pirates. We sit really low in spring training. We're in the back of, 20th row of the seats basically. And I'm able to watch how much that ball moves from Yohan Ramirez.
Yeah.
It really stuck out to me. I didn't realize that. These hitters will tell you that.
And again, when he's around the zone, he's very effective.
Pirates working with him this time around, helping him get to that point. Long run for Valdez.
Wow.
That 22-year-old going a long way to make a very good play.
Been a couple of these balls, a couple down the left field line and this one down the right field line, that have had our left and right fielders running a long way to get there. As you see, Valdez was way in that right center field gap against Marcus Semien. Just able to run it down. That's like a freight train moving at full speed right there, Joe. All 240 pounds of them.
Valdez second on the team in outs above average behind Brandon Lau. I think he was 100 feet at least off the line.
Yeah, he's playing way off standard, or he was playing way off standard. Usually what the right and left fielders do, their standard depth is right along, the right fielder is right along line with third base and second base, and the left fielder second base and first base, and then you kind of go off of that.
Here's a look at that Yohan Ramirez sweeper. Got a turn signal on it.
That is live. That's about as good as we've seen it all year, and you mentioned how good he's been the last 2 months.
He's never done anything like this year. Come in 3 1/3 scoreless. Yohan Ramirez, one of the best relievers in baseball the last 2 months, no doubt. Baseball on SNP is presented by Barrel Automotive, driven to be better. And by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it so you can stand in it. What an effort from Yohan Ramirez tonight. 3 1/3 scoreless innings of relief.
Yeah, gutsy effort from him, keeping this where it's at. Pirates got 6 outs to try to creep back in this game. Daniel Duarte is going to enter this game. Did a nice job so far for the Mets. 11th game, 14 1/3. 1.26 ERA.
And the only reason Pirates have a chance in this game is Yohan Ramirez. His longest outing of the season. It's the longest outing for the Pirates tonight. Picking up his teammates. Reynolds was at the plate when Triola was thrown out at the plate to end the 7th inning, so gets a fresh at bat here. 2 hits tonight, doubled in the 6th. Duarte out of Guatabampo in Sonora, Mexico. Did he go that time? Adam Hammery, not very kind to the hitters tonight.
A check swing before this pitch, obviously a tight slider that's tough to pick up. Looks like Reynolds might just have gone.
One day that will be automatically determined as well. Check swing, which has always been very loosely defined in the rule book through the years. Testing out a system in the minor leagues right now. 45-degree angle of the swing. We won't have to ask, did he go? The computer will tell us.
Might be chips and bats and things like that before you know it too.
Oh yeah, oh sure, yeah. We've seen corks and bats before.
Yeah. You said it. I didn't say it.
And we're going to get our first look at Luke Weaver. The last time he pitched was for the Mets. Back on Sunday, so getting him some work tonight. Beatty giving it a look. Valdez flied out his last time. That ended a stretch of 19 straight plate appearances without a ball in play, either a walk or a strikeout. Walked the first 2 times tonight. 3 true outcomes. The other one's a home run, and we've seen Valdez hit 14 of those already.
Third 3-2 count for Valdez in this game alone. He's just a little off right now, Joe. He's just a little bit late to the fastball. I think he's been given so many off-speed pitches lately. He's starting to look for him at times. You got to really fight yourself not to completely give in.
Duarte will get him for the second out. Let's check in with Hannah.
Joe, some good news for this Pirates offense. O'Neal Cruz started a rehab game in center field for AAA Indianapolis tonight. At the plate, 0 for 1, but walked twice. He's been out since June 10th with a non-displaced fractures in his left hand. Don Kelly said he was pumped to have him back in an assignment. Not sure the timeline yet. Taking things day by day, but excited to get him back in Pittsburgh soon. Nice to know, though. He's at least back in game action. Played 7 innings total tonight.
That's great to know. You have the 2 breaks in the fingers, swelling and gripping a bat. I can't imagine that, you know, how frustrating that is, because the rest of you feel good, but you can't hold a bat. Well, how can you play baseball?
Yeah, that wrist in the hand, Joe, it can be really frustrating because, like you said, you can do stuff with your other arm, you can do stuff with your legs, you can do one arm swinging if you're an offensive player, or even throw if it's not your throwing aside, you know, but you have to give it time to heal. And of course, the season is only 6 months long. Break, you got to give it a large amount of time.
Base hit for Horwitz. He'll get on with 2 outs. And Cruz was, at the time of injury, the only player at that time on a 30-30 pace in baseball.
Yeah.
He would have been an all-star undoubtedly.
With the opposing lefties somewhat having their way with the Pirates offense, it's certainly of note that O'Neal Cruz was having probably his best year against left-handed pitching as well.
Yeah, the rare lefty batter that hits great against lefty pitching. That's what he was doing this year. So when he does come back, Pirates definitely use his services. Nick Gonzalez with 2 hits tonight. Pirates and Mets are even in the hit column. New York getting the long ball from Simeon. That was a 2-strike, 2-out, 3-run home run. Big difference in this game right now. A couple of stolen bases leading to 2-out hits. It's a fair ball. Good play by the Mets third baseman. Well, Bichette gets Gonzalez. Touch of Wayne's World. There's Weaver, the reliever, the new Pirate, coming in for the first time in the black and gold. Undoubtedly the best reliever traded at the deadline, and the Pirates got him. He'll work against his old club. Last time he pitched it was for the Mets on Sunday.
And there's those Valvoline numbers for him. 43rd game, 44 innings, 1.84 ERA, 45 strikeouts in those 44 innings. Mainly a fastball, a four-seam changeup combination, a little bit of cutter usage to the right-handed hitters.
I'm telling you how good that Johan Ramirez has been over the last 2 months. How about the last 3 months for Weaver? His ERA is 0.28. One pitch and 1 out. Weaver was a big part of the Mets bullpen. They also traded a former Pirate in Clay Holmes, and then Freddie Peralta, the starting pitcher, going to Tampa Bay. That was notable. AJ Minter goes to the Twins. Brooks Raley. David Peterson was traded a long time ago. Huascar Brazoban was traded at the deadline too. So you got Rortved's a catcher and Tyrone Taylor's a 4th or 5th outfielder, but the rest of those guys are pitchers. You take out 2 out of their rotation and about 5 guys out of the bullpen.
When you dig through his numbers, Joe, when you look at his 4-pitch mix, the four-seam changeup, cutter, slider, only the four-seam between the lefties and righties, the highest number, 0.178 average against. Hitters having a very difficult time even getting hits against Luke Weaver.
Now, how does Torrens feel? He's seen that change up a million times catching Weaver, and flies out. Great story too. You know, Andrew Chafin, the left-hander, remember him? He wore a t-shirt one time that said "failed starter." You know, relievers are often termed failed starter. Well, Weaver was a successful starter, but after a while, it runs its course, and he was having a hard time finding regular work as a starter in the major leagues, and so he went to the bullpen and was outstanding and is outstanding. But that year was 24 with the Yankees. He never earned a save until the postseason that year. Never had a save in his career, and ended up pitching 4 times in the World Series. Didn't allow a run. Never know what's around the corner in the game of baseball. And even took over for Devin Williams as the Yankees closer last season. And Williams was ineffective. Then, of course, the Mets signed Weaver and Williams. A.J. Ewing hot tonight. 3 hits. Remember, Weaver will be under contract too for the Pirates next season. I think we're going to enjoy getting to know him by conversations he's had with the writers. Really great personality. And he will, I will say, co-host with Stephen Brault and Michael McHenry tomorrow on the BP show. He'll meet them for the first time probably, and then and it's hard to steal the show with Stephen and Michael. Yeah. He's going to steal the show tomorrow. I love hearing him talk. Lindor, base hit, scored a run back in the 4th inning for him. A 4-1 4th right after the resumption of play following a 36-minute rain delay. Mets scored 4 off Majinski, and that's the difference. And their starter, Zach Thornton, a lefty, 7th major league start, 5 scoreless. As the Mets try to find a couple diamonds in the rough at this stage of the year. A walk here. And a reminder, you can score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Pirates, the official source for your Pirates gear. Two on now for Bichette. Toward the wall, but Valdez with enough room. Pirates' last chance coming up in the 9th. Chevrolet Buick and GMC star of the game, and we'll go to the Mets' Carson Benz tonight. Not only did he hit well tonight, but driving in the run there, but that play that he made where he later left with injury was a big one.
Yeah, this is that one off the bat of Ronnie Simon. Kind of trapped his left hand against that wall with it. Just absolutely great play down the left field line, and as you mentioned, had to leave the game, but did a lot of damage while he was in.
Simeon with that 2-out, 2-strike, 3-run home run in the top of the 3rd. If Simon, ends up at second base in the bottom of the 3rd, who knows how this game could have gone. But that's how it is tonight as Devin Williams comes on.
42nd game for Devin, 37 2/3 innings, 4.3 ERA. Really good changeup. Go along with that fastball right there.
And it will be Simon to start it off. Did you ever face Williams? Some overlap there.
Don't believe so. I think
he came up kind of right at the end of the 19 season and was around in 20 when he was the rookie of the year. It's going to be Andy Rodriguez next for Triolo. Yeah, that changeup, famous. Ronnie Simon going the other way. Second hit tonight.
I think you mentioned earlier, Joe, Devin Williams. One thing he does not do very well is keep that first batter off the base paths. Look at where this ball ends up. Ronnie Simon, it's about 6 inches above the strike zone. Just takes it to left field. You start again, station to station here if you're the Pirates. Just have good at bats. Try to barrel something up, see if you can't get some momentum going and get it back to the top of the lineup for the 5th time.
So Andy Rodriguez batting for Triolo. Pirates had Williams' number when he first came up. Frazier had that home run back in Milwaukee in his first year, and then as a rookie technically in 20. Colin Moran hit that home run in the river off Devin Williams. Simon running down 4 runs. And Pirates' first stolen base tonight. Bucks stole the base. Now you steal the deal. Scan on screen for $25 off at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Simon with 33 steals at Indianapolis. Looking to count back to even now.
A couple good takes in the changeup right there. After 2 fastballs to start this at bat. If you're Andy, you're just fighting to swing at a strike right here, whether it's a fastball or a changeup.
Out to Pache. One away. And game 2 of this 3-game series with the Mets coming up tomorrow night. Bubba Chandler getting the start for the Pirates. Robert Stock will go for the Mets, and our coverage of that one begins with the Bucks BP Show, 5 p.m. Join us right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh and always streaming on SNP 360. Bubba on the left. It's the ball for the Bucks tomorrow night. Jacob Gonzalez will pinch hit for Rafael Flores Jr. Is there a knack to pinch hitting?
You want to be ready because you kind of assume the best pitch you're going to see is that first pitch, and you want to be calibrated up.
Ready to hit down that line. Right off the top of the wall. Beatty gets the rebound, and Gonzalez is out. I wonder if the Pirates will look at this, or was he indeed out? I mean, Beatty could not have fielded that better. Wow, he threw him out at second base. Some key outs on the bases tonight.
Gonzalez goes down and gets his changeup, and it's pretty rare that balls bounce off the wall like this directly to the right fielder. But man, that one hurts.
It goes as an RBI single and 9-6 on the putout. We had a 2-1 out at the plate. We have a 9-6 out at second. That close right there. Perfect throw from Beatty. I think might be something going there. If he's safe, then you got tying run on deck. With 1 out, instead now bases clear and 2 outs for Mangum.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
Let's take a look at ABS, powered by T-Mobile.
Pitches the ball. New York has 1 remaining.
And from that standpoint right there, but you think about, Joe, if Jared Triolo were to score in that 7th inning, now it might be a 6-4 game here, and you got a runner on second base, potentially 1 out, the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, you take a little bit more of a lead. You know, maybe you're on the balls of your feet as that pitch comes in. You know, taking that lead from third base with the third baseman playing back against the edge of the outfield grass. Little things like that, just an extra 5 feet. Maybe just a little bit quicker out of the box. Cut the bag just a little bit better. You know, little things like that. Saw that with Milwaukee. They put on a clinic. As you know, they pick up a run or 2 every game, it seems. Milwaukee, talking about, because of that. And the Pirates do that sometimes too, but Milwaukee seems to do that consistently, and that's why I think that they're at the top in the division.
We kind of talked about that in the off air, you and I, about how the Brewers essentially play like, somewhat of a college style of baseball, where they're going to make you work, they're going to run the bases well, they're going to steal bases, all the things that you need to do to win ball games.
Well, Mangum working a walk here, see if he can mint something new. It's not like Williams has been all that good here in this inning. 3 out of 4 have reached against him. So maybe something still in store as the Pirates have out-hit the Mets now. But no question, the Pirates desperately need a win. Brandon Lau homering yesterday. Trying to pull him to within 1 if he leaves the ballpark here. Mangum not being held on. No stolen base. If Lau gets on, Reynolds would be the tying run, and Reynolds has homered off Williams in his career. Now, wouldn't it be something too if you get that, Nunez, Yan, Duarte, and then it's Williams that coughs it up. The guys that are a little less experienced. Pirates down to their final strike. Brandon Lau, who's been one of the key leaders of this team. I'm so frustrated when he popped out in the 7th, but so often has come through for the Bucks. Back of short, and it's down. Lau comes through. Mangum will score. The tying run is coming up here in the 9th. Where would the Bucks be without Brandon Lau? What a guy. And now Williams is on the ropes.
Yeah, just fights this one off, up and in. Able to dump it into dead center field. And it seems to me, as we see Justin Willard coming out to have a conversation with Devin Williams, this is going to be his game to win or lose. Now that out at second base off the right field wall, really looming large.
And just in case, Mason Montgomery getting up if the Pirates tie this. Xavier Curry is starting to loosen now for New York. And Reynolds has homered off Williams. Plenty familiar facing him all those years when Williams was with the Brewers. 3 hits off Williams and a walk. Remember, he's only retired 1 batter. Reynolds is the tying run. Gloved by Simeon. And it was Marcus Simeon with the home run. He'll get the final out, and the Mets survive. And the Pirates dealt defeat for the 4th straight time. And the Mets in the basement in the NL East. And the Pirates fall tonight by 2.
Yeah, Zach Thornton does a pretty good job pre and post rain delay. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts in this one off the bat of Brian Reynolds. Look like off the bat it might sneak into right field. Marcus Simeon moving from the left side of the infield to the right late in this game and is able to make this play and secure the victory for the New York Mets.
Well, a thrilling conclusion, but no silver medals or blue ribbons in baseball, so Pirates now 4 under after their 4th straight defeat. The Mets claim game 1 6-4 here tonight. Plenty to talk about. We invite you to stay tuned. Pirates Extra Innings is coming your way next. And on behalf of our entire crew, for Hannah Mears and Neil Walker, Joe Block signing off here from PNC Park, where it was the Mets claiming game 1 6-4 here at PNC Park.